because I want to have you try one other thing. So we talked about the names of these parts of the division problem. This is called the dividend, and this is called the divisor. And you take your divisor and you write it down the side of your box. So we are going to take division and basically turn it into a multiplication problem to get our answer. So we are going to force the inside of the box to be our dividend, and we're going to force this outside of the box to be our quotient. So if I'm going to force the dividend in my box, n squared is the first term of my dividend, so n squared goes in the box. And then I'm going to figure out what has to go up here to make my multiplication work. So to get n squared, I would have to take n, because n times n gives me n squared. And then I'm going to multiply to get the bottom of my box, just like in factoring. So n times -7 is -7n. So then once I've done the first column, I'm going to skip over to the next column, and I'm going to look at these two circled boxes. Together, they have to add up to my n terms. I need -3n altogether. So if I currently have -7n, I have to add 4n so that together those circles add up to -3n in my dividend. So my dividend is going to end up in this box. Now I can do the outside of the box again. So you're kind of alternating inside of the box, outside of the box. So you're going to put plus 4 up at the top because 4 times n gives you 4n. And then you're going to do the bottom multiplication. So 4 times -7 is -28. And you're going to check, is -28 the number in my dividend? Nope, it's -21. So I need a remainder that I'm going to put in this box. To get to -21, I would have to add 7. Right, so I have a remainder of 7. So my quotient is n plus 4, and my remainder is 7. So the reason I was going to show you number 6 is because they left out the middle term of this trinomial. So I could rewrite this problem to help me a squared plus 0a minus 28, because when you're doing division, you don't want to skip any of your terms. So if you want to attempt this one by yourself, go for it. I'm going to put one more up to help people who either weren't here or still need a little bit of help with division. But you can kind of try it by yourself and then check your answer. So I've got a minus 5. That's going down the side of the box because that's my divisor. And my dividend is this purple term, a squared plus 0a minus 28. That has to end up inside my box. So a squared is the first term. And I'm going to build out here my quotient so that when I multiply, I get a squared. So it's going to be a, because a times a is a squared. And then I multiply a times -5 is -5a. I need to build my dividend so that whatever I put in this circle, they have to add up to 0a. I currently have -5a. So what do I have to add to get 0? I'd have to add positive 5a, right? The opposite. So I have -5a plus 5a now adds up to the 0a. So the last step in your quotient, what times a will give me this 5a? I'd have to add 5. 5 times a is 5a. So then 5 times -5 is -25. So I'm going to check, is that what I wanted? I actually wanted -28. So I need a remainder to get me to -28. So my remainder is -3. So a plus 5, remainder of -3. So can you try 7 and 8? And I can walk around and help you, but only in doing it yourself are you going to get stuck, on the steps that you need help with. So try 7 and 8, and I'm going to write up a number 9 that you can try after you get 7 and 8 done. So we'll do okay. Hopefully you can read that, but I put up a number 9 because it has a trinomial as a divisor. If you want to wait to do number 9 together, that's also okay. Okay. So we've got r plus 8, r squared, 8r goes in the bottom. I need to get to 14, so I need to add 6r. So r plus 6 is my quotient. And then I end up with 48, but I need 38. So I have to subtract 10 as my remainder. So r plus 6 with a remainder of negative 10. And then this is x plus 6. So I have x squared, x, 6x. So I'm trying to build to get 5x. So I need to subtract 1x. So x minus 1 is my quotient. And then I get negative 6, but I need to get to positive 3, so my remainder is 9. So x minus 1 with a remainder of 9. All right, so for people who might need help on having a trinomial as your divisor, I want you to think ahead. If you take a cubic function and you divide by a quadratic, your quotient is just going to be a linear function, like x plus 10 or x minus 5. So it's not any bigger of a result. It just takes a little bit bigger of a box when you're doing the division with more terms. So you've got your 3 rows this time, and you've got your x cubed going in the top left. So see how right away all you need is an x. So it's just going to be a linear quotient. So x times x squared is x cubed. You do the 2 boxes below it. So you'd get 2x squared and negative 1x. And then you're just looking at this first diagonal, right? We're trying to get to 3x squared in our dividend. So we need to add 1x squared. I can put a 1 there if I wanted to, but so there's my 3x squared. So I would have x plus 1 because 1 times x squared gives me the x squared that I need. So now I'm going to build my remainder. So I do the 2 bottom boxes. So 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So here's the only kind of tricky part, and a couple of you missed looking across this kind of a triple diagonal. All 3 of these terms together have to add up to the 4 x's. So I need 3 x's so that 5x minus 1x would give me the 4x. And then I can look across this diagonal. I need to get to negative 7, and I'm currently at negative 1, so I need negative 6. So your remainder is 3x minus 6. It happens to be a binomial remainder. So the remainder looks, yucky, but when we graph this thing as an asymptote, this is just a linear asymptote, right? Y equals 1x plus 1 is just a line. All we care about when we're graphing these is basically the quotient and that there is a remainder. So that's where we're going to leave division for today.